Welcome to your yoga class today. For today we'll need a block. If you don't have one, you can grab a firm pillow, a bit of Tupperware, a book, something, or just don't use anything at all, that's fine as well. And we'll use that straight away to come and lie down. So you lie down onto your back, you bring the block or whatever you have chosen underneath your sacrum. And so that's really where the glutes lie, and that flat bit towards the glutes, and let the lower back be really kind of falling off there. So don't have it right underneath the lower back is what I'm trying to say. And right there we bring the soles of the feet together and the knees to widen. So first things first, if this is too much or it feels uncomfortable, then naturally you can do this as well without your block, yeah? Or you can use that block or pillow underneath a knee to kind of find a little bit more support. So it can also be a way to modify, if anything. So wherever you are, come to lie down. Hand on heart and hand on belly. So for today, we'll go through a bit more of a slow flow. And so it gives us more of an opportunity to marinate and bathe sort of in poses. And to find some stillness and some breath into some poses as we open and strengthen our body. And with that, just a few extra sort of push-ups for extra strength work in there as well. So close your eyes, lengthen the breath all the way into the belly, and feel that one hand on the belly rise and fall as you lie here. And just a minute of stillness. Stillness and breath. Now as you lie here in stillness, we're going to encourage you to breathe in for the count of 4 and breathe out for the count of 4 as well. So we're working our 4 count breath pranayama exercise. So empty the lungs completely. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And just quietly continue that by yourself. And if there's room to make it more spacious, more lengthy, say a 5 or 6 count breath, then please go ahead with that. Just 3 more cycles of breath. Your final round. And after that last breath, just bring the knees together and slowly grab the block and make sure it's still right underneath your sacrum. So your lower back is spacious. See here if you can bring your legs into a nice and perfect tabletop, and then see if you can press the abdomen into the spine and sort of wrap it around the spine. We'll take some nice and slow single leg extensions. So one leg comes forward, but the other one stays right above the hip bone, and then the other one. So we're switching sides. Squeeze and feel that engagement through the obliques. And really go as low with the leg as you can, without it kind of letting the ribs flare. So as soon as that's happening, you might need to go a little bit higher. You might still be holding your block, or maybe you can let your arms just gently float off the mat. And so the shoulders shimmy down, and the core is now doing all the work. Let's just take one more on each side, and please make sure you've done it equally on both sides right there. And then slowly from there out, those legs into a tabletop. One more round, either single leg, one each, or two legs come forward, hold, squeeze it in, knit through those lower ribs. 3, 2, and 1. Soles of the feet come to the floor. The block removed from the sacrum, just a little wiggle and a little movement is nice here. Bringing the block in between the knees this time. Walk the heels nice and close towards the glutes as we're setting up for our bridge pose. Squeezing into the block for this one. Take a big breath in, and then exhale, rise up. Squeeze with the knees into that block. Maybe interlace the fingers underneath your body. One more round of breath as we lift and squeeze. And then very slowly coming all the way down. Good. Hug the knees into your chest. Grab the block and a little circling, a little movement. Straightening the legs all the way forward onto the floor. Reach the block up to the ceiling. And option number 1 is just reaching and pulsing here. Straight legs. Maybe you have the strength to rise up a little bit halfway and come back down. Halfway and come back down. Now as we do this, can you squeeze your hands flat into the sides of the block? So the arms get warm as we squeeze into the block. The traps, the shoulders, the chest, everything warms up. Last 3. Last 2. Maybe all the way up. Use your hands if that doesn't quite work for you, using just your core. So we've come all the way up to your seat. Come to hands and knees as we'll pop ourselves into tabletop. Just a few rounds of cat-cow as we've done quite a bit of work already through the core. So on an inhale here, and pick up that Ujjayi breath if you're familiar with this. And exhale, start to round and curl, navel to spine. Find length into the lower back, inhale. Find length into the chest here, the neck, the shoulders. Exhale again, round and curl. Last 2 rounds, inhale. Exhale. Start to grip the fingers more powerful into the mat. Last round, breath in. And breath out. Good, neutral spine here. And again, check that these creases of your wrists are parallel to the top of the mat. Curl the toes and just lift your knees a little bit off the mat. Squeeze and lift through the belly. Push dome sort of round through the upper back. And this is straight away where kind of the mental side of yoga begins, because your body is like, don't like this. Let's see if you can stay. Build a little bit of strength here. And then more importantly, can you still breathe as we are here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Downward facing dog. First one for today perhaps, or likely maybe even. So start to pedal out those feet, but gently. Again, today a little bit more of a slow flow. So can you take this slower as well? One heel at a time, seeing how things are feeling, and lifting those sit bones as high as you can up to the ceiling, with maybe a gentle bend behind the knees to lift it higher. And I'm really hugging or bringing sort of magnetically together the rib cage towards the thighs. Lift the shoulders and wrap the triceps together. 2 more breaths here. Bring the feet a little closer to each other now. Lift the right leg up to the sky and feel the hamstring just open without really kind of flaring the hip open too much. Take another round of breath here. Inhale. And then exhale, try and step it all the way in between the hands, and feel free to just move that a little further. The back knee comes down to the floor and the hands grab the block here. And then rising up to your low lunge. So first things first again, squeeze those hands nice and flat into the block. See if you can sit a little lower, as long as you're not getting into the lower back, because then I'd rather have you stay nice and high. Looking up towards the block if you have balance today. And then maybe even start to bend your elbows now. Squeeze the elbows in as we bring the block as much as you can. Maybe like a little pillow, sort of, behind your head. Squeezing and opening through the shoulders. Take one more round of breath. And then coming all the way, rising up, hands up, block down. I'm parking the block behind or besides my right foot, curl the back toes, and it helps me to kind of lift forward to step forward. Take a halfway lift here, flat back, and then exhale, forward fold. Good, rise to stand. Inhale, arms come all the way up, your Tadasana, mountain pose, to Samastitihi, hands together, thumbs center of chest. Take a full round of breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Arms up, look up, breath in. Forward fold, exhale, bend the knees deeply, forehead to knees. Take a halfway lift, breath in, push again into the shins, lengthen the spine. Step back into your high plank. And then lower the knees down, take a deep breath in here, hands right underneath the shoulders so you can shift weight forward. And then exhale, come halfway down only. Good, press back, inhale. Use the breath again for the strength. Exhale, halfway down. Inhale, press back up. Exhale, halfway down to hold for 3, for 2, and lower all the way down. Good, little baby cobra here. Inhale, hands are not being used, but instead squeeze the elbows in, toenails touch the floor. Come back to downward facing dog. One breath in. One breath out. Maybe ground those heels down a little more. Left leg up to the ceiling. Inhale, square up those hips and just stay. Invite yourself to feel all the feelings. Pressing ribcage still to the thigh. Right heel maybe comes down a little. Inhale, staying last breath. And then exhale, step it forward gracefully and quietly. Back knee comes down, grab your block, and inhale when you're ready, low lunge. And again, you can stay quite high up. You can sit a little lower as long as those hip bones stay forward and the lower back is heavy. Squeezing those hands as much as you can into the block. Your arms are straight, your fingers are powerful. Looking up as well. And if your shoulders allow, start to bend the block behind you. It's a little pillow behind your head. But then with length and lift, there's no collapsing. Squeeze the elbows in so you can see them as well. And think about the ribs and the spine, hard lengthening up. One more inhale, bringing the hands back up, rising up through the spine, looking up, and exhale, bring this down. Block beside your left foot. Inhale, curl the back toes, step the right foot forward, exhale. Come back to your halfway lift, breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise to stand. Samastitihi, hands together, thumb center of chest. Take a round of breath in. A breath out. Inhale, arms shoot up to the sky, look up as well. And exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Step back into your high plank, exhale. Second round as well, knees down unless you feel like a superhero today. Exhale, take it halfway down, no lower, so it's not crazy low. Push back, inhale. Use the belly, exhale, chin away from the chest. You're looking forward on the floor. Inhale, press back. Exhale, come to that halfway point. Hold and squeeze for 3, for 2, and come down for 1. Baby Cobra, shoulders down and back, squeeze elbows in. Gaze is in line with the rest of the spine, so forward to the floor. And then come back, downward, facing dog. Big breath in. Big breath out. Right leg lifts back up to the ceiling, inhale. This time, exhale, step it forward, straight away. Back knee comes down once again, and inhale, rise up. Good, so we're back into our low lunge here, and we're going into our half Hanuman, which is our half splits. And it's early, so I don't want you to feel like you need to be in full splits anytime soon. So take another big breath in, maybe a little back bend, and then exhale, maybe use that block as we walk the right foot forward, 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 as much as possible. Keep the hips nice and high. Again, we're early on in the practice anyways. And have your 2 hip bones shining directly forward towards the top of your mat. Have a look at your toes. Keep your drishti, your gaze at your toes. And really peel the baby toe to your face as much as you are bringing the big toe in. 3 breaths here. And then you should really feel behind the back of the right leg here. So use that breath to find some softness. Relaxing the jaw, maybe smiling through the eyes to soften all those little micro muscles in your face. Last round of breath. And then coming onto the fingertips. Bring the right heel in a little bit so you can park the right foot flat. Use that block underneath the left hand to stop all the way forward on your exhale. Hands to shins, breath in, lengthen the spine. Breath out, forward fold. Inhale, arms reach up. And exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale, flat back again. Step back into your high plank. This time just 2. So big breath in, shift forward. Feel free to still be onto the knees. Exhale, lower down halfway. Inhale, press back straight away. Exhale, lower down slowly. Inhale, find your shoulders to come back. Cobra. If you feel ready, a warm up dog. Thighs and knees lift off the floor for that. Then downward facing dog to roll back to big breath in here. Big breath out. And then the right leg lifts again. So it's the same leg as we just worked. Right leg lifts, big breath in. And then exhale, knee to left elbow. So we're crossing, we're rounding, and we're holding here for 3, for 2, and 1. Right foot to the outside of the left hand. And bring it as high as you can. You can use your hands here. Hands come wide. Taking 3 little wide arm push-ups here. As both legs are straight, but kind of in this weird crossing, yeah? And they don't have to be big, so just see what you can do. 3, 2, and 1. Right hand comes underneath the right shoulder. Left hand lifts up. Your back foot, your left leg will go flat. Reach up. Fold and triangle. Hold for 3. Lift the hips higher. Work those bottom obliques for 2. And then gently, can you just sit down? So we're just spinning and you face towards the back corner of your mat. I hope. Right hand to right shin. Left hand reaches up, looking up as we stretch. Your left side body should feel a big stretch. Looking up, collarbones come up, and breathe. Keep rotating, keep spinning. Last 3. Find length, last 2. And last one. Slowly come up. You'll now go and face towards the back of your mat. 2 legs come forward. Inhale here, bend your knees. And get your toes to the floor. And then come up into a little boat pose if you have it in you today. Pull the heart forward. You want to have a super straight spine. If you need to, hold on. If you can, let go. And then maybe start to dabble the toes down, one at a time. So there's just different layers. And if you're starting to fall down, reposition and be where you need to be. For 3, for 2, and 1. Give yourself a nice big cuddle as you'll come to lie down. Big breath in and a big breath out. Nice work, guys. When you're ready, underneath those knees, you grab, you rock up and down and up and down. You use your hands, or you use a little bit of momentum and a lot of core to come all the way to stand up, chair pose, feet together. Take a deep breath in here. A deep breath out, sit a little lower. 3 more breaths. If there's anything else you need to do with your arms, you can, right? But relax the shoulders, squeeze those glutes, and try and sit a little lower. 1 more full round of breath. Sit a little lower. And then rise up to stand. Maybe a back bend, maybe just reaching up to the ceiling. Exhale, forward fold. Take a halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, step back into your high plank. And again, maybe you're onto the knees, maybe you shift forward and come down halfway. Pressing back, and then lowering down. To the back, then breath in, big or small, as long as it's long and lengthy. And then downward facing dog, exhale. 1 breath in. 1 breath out. Left leg to lift, inhale. Good, again, enjoy and feel, nourish this stretching sensation with the breath. And then slowly bend your knees, step it forward, and bring the back knee down. Now you might need to locate that block from the other side of your mat. If you know you need it, please need it. We'll come up first, inhale, low lunge. Breathe and reach, find this length into your back. Hips shining forward, so we really start to reposition. And take another round of breath here. And then slowly bring the hands down. And begin to lengthen that left foot forward. And you don't have to go very low at all again, right? So my hips are right above my back knee. Use your block if you need it. Inhale, lengthen. Really think chin towards your shin, gaze towards the foot. Beautiful way as well to check if your baby toe is disappearing. Peel that back so 5 toes are flexing back. And then use the breath. It's sort of like the ocean. And inhale to find some length and some lift. And then exhale to just kind of see where you can go. Have a look that 2 hip bones are still forward. 3 more breaths. And after that 3rd exhale, you gently bring that left heel in, foot down, step it all the way forward. Halfway lift, breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Rise to stand, inhale. Samasthiti, hands together, thumb center of chest. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Flat back, inhale. Step into your high plank. On or off the knees, there is that extra push up, that extra chaturanga, so come down halfway. Push back, inhale. Lower down, exhale. Your Cobra or up dog, inhale. See if you can find just a little bit more height this time around. And then come straight back to downward facing dog. A round of breath. Left leg to lift, breath in. And then left knee to the right elbow, hold. Try and make it touch. So get the shoulders all the way over the wrist for 3, 2, 1. Step it. And that left foot towards the right hand. And if it goes there, you just maybe grab it and bring it a little further. Hands go wide. 2 hips are nowhere near the same, right? So see what you can do. Your 3 wide arm push-ups. 3, 2, and 1. Left hand goes underneath the shoulder, so more to the middle of the mat. Back foot spins flat. Right hand reaches up. You'll fall in triangle. You can go quite back bendy in this, or just reach up to the ceiling. But lift the hips as high as they go. 3. Soften to the elbow. Strong through the muscles for 2. And then can you gracefully sit down. When you're ready, left hand to the left shin. Right hand up into a side bend. Looking up. Collarbones wide. And feel this into your right lower waistline. We have 3 breaths here too. If it's better for your neck to look down, you can. You can also hug the back of the hand onto the lower back if that's more useful for you. Last round of breath. And then slowly coming all the way up. Left foot comes forward. And come back into a boat pose now, Tadasana. So there we go, option 1, feet down, pull the heart forward. 2, legs come up into that tabletop. Option 3, hands fly. Good. Option 4, 3 high to low boats. Inhale, we stay. And exhale to lower. Inhale to come up. Exhale to lower. 1 more. Inhale to come up. Exhale to lower. Hug the knees into your chest. Start to rock. Use your hands to come and stand up. Or on the next one, can you rock up? Chair pose. Again. Sitting, breathing. And then this time we take a twist, guys. So hands together, thumbs center of chest, lengthen the spine. Knees in one line. Let's twist to the right side. So left elbow on the outside of the right thigh. And then lift your chest so that the thumbs come right at the center of your chest. Looking up if that's accessible for you. Opening the arms if that feels great for you and it's actually helping your twist. Otherwise, please do not. And then see if you can sit a little lower. Relax the toes a little more. Chair pose, but stay low. Inhale. Hands together. Exhale, sit lower. Lengthen one more time. Lengthen, lengthen. We twist to the left side. Right elbow on the outside of the thigh. And there we go. Press and lift. Looking up maybe. Sitting low, but also check those knees that they stay in the same line. Final full round of breath. So sit your lowest. Your head is higher than the hips. Come back, chair. Come back to stand. Tadasana, mountain pose. 3 breaths here. Maybe sigh if you've gotten warm. And opening the eyes. Good. Right foot stays forward. Hands to the hips. Lift the left knee up. And just step it about a meter behind you. And the back foot goes 45 degrees. And the feet go hip width, meaning that we're not on one line, so to speak. And then from there, now grab opposite elbows behind you if you can, or otherwise just keep the hands to the hips. Inhale, here we're coming to a pyramid pose. Lengthen the chin towards the shin like we've done it before, earlier on the floor. So we go back into the hamstring. See if you can square off the hips. Bring and tuck in the belly and look at the toes. 3 breath here. Feeling stuck, then you lift a little and then lower again. Soften through the right knee a little. So we're working through strong muscles but soft joints. Last full round of breath. I'm coming to stand up nice and tall, nice and strong. And just that right foot a little bit in towards the middle of the mat. So now we've got heel to heel alignment. And then the arms come wide, chest is all the way to the sideline of your mat. Trikonasana, straight legs. Reach and lengthen your hand like you want to touch the wall in front of you. And then right hand to right shin, left hand up to the ceiling. And then spin those collarbones to open. Push the right hip forward. And then take 3 breaths here. Again, if it's better to look sideways or down, you absolutely can. Make everything spacious. So notice if this is starting to happen, either collapsing down or your ear and your shoulder are touching. They should not be too friendly here. And last full round of breath. And then coming up slowly, turn your feet parallel all the way to the sideline of your mat. Inhale, arms come wide, broaden the chest. Exhale, forward fold. And then grab underneath your heels or the sides of your feet, or just hands to the mat if you can't quite grab that. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, start to pull. Lift the shoulders. And so this can absolutely be hands to the floor, right? For the last 3 breaths, really find your preferred variation. Might it be big toes, the heels, the hands down. And then use your breath and see if you can come a little bit heavier into the toes and lighter into the heels. Bring the hands forward, in front, kind of just a little off your mat if you can. And then see if you can lift your heels, hands come a little wider, and see if you can take 3 little push-ups here as well. And 2, lift those heels. Last one. And then slowly tiptoe those hands towards the left foot. Turn the toes with you and come all the way to step. Backside of your mat, feet together, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Curl up to stand this time, nice and slowly. So again, you're facing to the backside of your mat. Take a breath. Grow a little taller. Hands to your hips. Right knee lifts. Step it back about 1 meter or so. And back foot 45 degrees. And space in between the 2 feet in terms of width. Good. From there on out, again, grab opposite elbows if you can, or hands to hips. Inhale, we lengthen. And exhale, long spine going forward, chest leading. One side will always be a little bit more difficult or different. See if you can flatten through those hip bones, so push a little bit more weight into the front leg. Chin towards the shin, look at the toes. 3 breaths. Rising up on your next breath in. Walk that left foot a little bit off to your right, so we're heel to heel alignment. Toes, maybe back toes a little bit more out. Chest comes open to the side. Arms come wide. Inhale, reach. Left hand to the top of the mat. Left hand down, right hand up. Push the left hip forward. Rotate the collarbones up. Breath, length, space. And then a whole lot of strength. 3, 4, 2. And last full breath. Rising all the way up. And again, toes come facing towards the side of the mat. Interlace the fingers behind you this time around. Take maybe a little smaller step if that's better for you. Inhale, hard leading. Exhale, take a forward fold. If you can, squeeze these hand palms together. Very normal to not have that possible. And in fact, if you can't quite reach, you just bring your hands back to the floor. Make sure your big toes are closer to each other rather than outwards. And again, see if you can now tempt yourself to come a little bit more into those big toes again. Well, into all 10 toes, to be honest. Rather than pushing back into the heels. So it's kind of like you're almost about to lose your balance, but then the head is heavy. And you should feel that right into like the belly of the hamstring. 2 more breaths. Inhale, hands to hips, come up halfway. 2 all the way. Good, stepping all the way forward, back to the original top of your mat. And then stand back into Tadasana, mountain pose. Big breath in. Big breath out. We come back into a last chair pose here. So coming to sit down, inhale, arms reach. Exhale, sit a little lower. Then we bring the hands together, thumb center of chest. Lift through your heels and we lower down for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. And then I kind of changed my mind, so we'll get back up for 4, 3, 2, 1. Down again for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the hands down to the floor and take your feet into a little wide jump. Malasana. Heels are on the mat, toes are just off. Good. Option number 1. Elbows for everyone are on the inside of the knees, hands together. Push it wide, you have a long spine. If you have a mirror nearby, like I do, really check that. So we don't look like this, and it's not the triceps into the calves, it's really those elbows to push into the inside of the knees. And option number 2 is you can take a few little push-ups here again. They all count, you know, hands come forward. And you keep that connection with your elbows and the knees as you lift your butt and you kind of come forward and pull it in and out. Maybe you do 1, maybe you do 5, and maybe every time you go just a little bit further off those heels onto the toes. And we won't even take flight today. So see how many you'd like to do before you come back to your traditional Malasana. Breathe. 3 breaths here. Breath, hands can park behind you and you'll just simply come to sit down. Bring 2 legs all the way forward. Now remember that we have a block here, so if your legs are forward and you feel like you're starting to sink into the lower back, then it can be really nice to pop that pillow or that block just underneath your glutes. Yeah, so inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, Paschimottanasana, try and reach for the toes. Now if you can't reach your toes, then that's just not true. Everyone can reach the toes, so bend your knees and grab them. And that's often a much nicer way anyway to bend the knees and grab them, so you have a long spine. You can kind of walk those sit bones back. We'll stay here for 5 breaths, so dance like a wave into the breath and this stretch if you need to, or kind of lengthen and stay in an isometric hold. Slowly rising up, those legs still forward. Grab that block Hands again on the sides, long spine, and then tuck in from the lower belly and roll down slow as you can. Squeeze into the sides of the block like we've done right from the start. And lengthen all the way overhead when you are down. You can leave your block there as your hands come back. Soles of the feet come one more time to the floor. Heels again walk nice and close. As a bridge pose here without the block, but still that same engagement, like we're pushing into the block. Inhale, come on. Maybe interlace the fingers, maybe not. Maybe they're up to the sky. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly coming to go down to the floor. And just windscreen wipe the legs from side to side. Big breath in. Big breath out. And hug the right knee into your chest. Left leg straightens forward. Take a deep breath in to stay. And then into a spine twist. So right knee over to the left side. Stack the hips. And cactus or lengthen the arms. Your gaze wherever. But then close the eyes after your head falls naturally. Relax everywhere just a little bit more. Last 2 breaths. And we slowly come back through center. Right leg straightens forward, left knee comes in. Give it a good squeeze, breath in. Left knee to the right side, stack the hips, spine twist. Rock the head a little side to side. And then soften. Last round of breath. And we slowly bring this back through center. Both knees hug into your chest. A little circling, a little swaying. Into happy baby. Grab the outsides of the feet if you can. And grab the shins if you need to. Flatten the sacrum down. So towards the glutes, really hug it into the mat. And either be still or find some gentle movement here. But whatever you do, do not stop breathing. So have that big breath. Sigh it out if you need to. Can you take 3 really big full breath here? Maybe sigh. Last one already. And as you let go, slowly straighten those legs forward. Reach overhead again, and you should find your block there because we left it there earlier. And from there now, bring the block overhead and set the soles of the feet to the floor. We come back one last time with the block underneath your sacrum, so underneath the glutes. And then reach the legs forward. So we open through our psoas. The hip bones in the front of your hips should be the highest point. Your lower back should literally fall off. Yeah, so should be really nice and spacious here. Hand to heart, hand to belly. Breathe. If this hurts one the lower back or two the knees, then bend your knees. Or just get rid of the block. Breathe, breathe. See if you can balloon up the stomach with every breath in that you take. Really amazing for your organs. Get that blood flow, that oxygen flow, but also simply that massaging of the abdominal wall through those really big breaths that we're taking. Start to soften again through the corners of the mouth, the corners of the eyes, those little micro muscles. Let your tongue fall really heavy into the bottom of your mouth. Tip of the tongue touches the bottom of your teeth. And the root of your tongue is nice and soft as well. Three more big breaths here. Keep your eyes closed, bend your knees, feet to the floor, just pop the block to the side and slide the legs back forward. Arms beside you, hand palms facing up, shoulders come down. Tadasana. Take a sigh once you've gotten into place. See if there's any tension that you can let go of. 4 minutes together. just ignore any of my further cues and stay in Tadasana. Or you take the next 5 breaths to gently come off the floor and into a comfortable seat. So counting your breath and making a way slowly up and into a seat. At all, but just whenever you're there, bring the hand palms facing upwards onto the knees or the thighs. And just saying yes to life, force, and energy. And bring the hands together, thumb center of chest, and bow your forehead in. Saying yes and thank you to yourself for showing up. Namaste, yogis.